Well, there it is. The 2021 draft by the Cleveland Browns. A damn good job by Andrew Berry. Filled everything on the F Zappa 20 wish list. Not the exact order, it's not a single player, but we got cornerback, linebacker, wide receiver, defensive tackle. They doubled up on the wide receivers, they doubled up on the linebacker. That's a move I'm a fan of. And look, when you get down here into these fifth, sixth round picks, they're long shots to make the team. We'll see if they can do something on special teams. Safety, that's a position. They can make an impact on special teams. And then same thing, this Felton guy out of UCLA. They got players from all over the country. The UCLA player played some running back, played some receiver. Several guys on here with some versatility. James Hudson, the offensive lineman out of Cincinnati, that was the only one. Maybe I would give that pick a C. Everything else, we're giving Newsome the corner an A. They got Koramoah. They moved up in the second round to give him. That was an A. They got Schwartz, a slot receiver in the third round. I'd give that one an A. Then down here, we got Togiai, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. Now, he was a guy that came in highly recruited, played a little bit, made a little bit of an impact early on, started to improve each year. Unfortunately, got hit with the 19 late last year, derailed his season, but still, we're going to give that pick a B. We'll see how that goes. The only reason I'm giving that a B is nothing against Tommy. I wish they'd have gotten a defensive tackle earlier, maybe instead of the offensive tackle right there. And then the same thing here. You're taking your second linebacker, Fields out of West Virginia. Then you got a safety, a wide receiver, Georgia, UCLA, LaCounte, and Felton. We give both of these picks Bs just because they were positions of need, and we'll see with the injuries. The safety of Del Pitt's back. Obviously, they just signed Johnson. Wide receiver, more competition for Peoples-Jones. Competition for even Schwartz. We'll see. It could turn out this guy's the slot receiver coming in after Landry. So overall, Berry and the Browns nail it. Newsome was probably the pick I was most happy with. They moved up. They had to swap a second and a third rounder for what was it, a third? They basically traded a second and a third for a second and a fourth or something like that. They moved up 7 spots, and then later on they moved back 15 spots. So I was happy with the Koramoah pick. They needed a linebacker. I was liking the guy out of Kentucky. Schwartz, they had to wait a little while on receiver. Bateman, a guy that I liked out of Minnesota, he went in the first round to Minnesota, so he was long gone. But that's a pick right there. He's going to make the team. He's going to make the team. He's going to make the team. These two guys possibly starters. Koramoah, more of a shot to start than Newsome. Greedy, healthy. Hill's healthy. Denzel Ward's healthy. It's going to be a tough shot for Newsome to start. But there'll be plenty of times where he's needed. It'll play. Same thing all the way down here to Togiai. I know they signed a defensive tackle in free agency, but losing Sheldon Richardson, there's even talk they could re-sign Sheldon Richardson. This move right here may have put an end to re-signing Sheldon Richardson. And it was nice to see they got a Buckeye. Several guys out of the Midwest, Northwestern, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, and Ohio State, and then West Virginia somewhat. Similar climate to what they're going to play in Cleveland. Got 2 guys out of the Southeastern Conference, and then, of course, our guy here, the long shot, Felton, the hybrid wide receiver out of UCLA in the West Coast. So overall, we got 3 A's. We only got 2 C's. We're giving Andrew Berry and the Browns overall an A for this draft. More like a 95. I have no idea what that means, but you got to give it some points. We'll find the real story will be a year or 2 from now. Is Newsome a starting cornerback, at least a starting nickel? Is Koramoah an impact player? Is he a linebacker that's starting on the team? Is Schwartz still on the team? This is stuff we'll have to see a few years down the road. Now, if somehow, some way, every single one of these guys is on the team, that changes to an A+. But that's very, very unlikely. So there it goes, man. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think. I know everybody seems to be real happy with this pick. Most people were happy with the corner because it's time to just face the facts on Greedy. Same thing with Denzel. And, the offensive tackle, while it wasn't my favorite pick, and you can never have, that's a position where you're always going to need, you can always have some depth. Why not? Even if it takes him a season to really do anything. Same thing with Togiai. While I wish they had went a little earlier with defensive tackle, that's a solid pick there. He doesn't need to do a lot right away. And then these guys down here, well, we'll see. LaCounte. LaCounte might have the best name. Demetric. Although we got Jeremiah Osua Koramoah, the most annoying name. Anthony Schwartz, James Hudson, and then Tony Togiai. Took me like 3 years to get Togiai right when he was with the Buckeyes, so luckily I finally got that down. So there it is, guys. The 2021 NFL Draft is in the books. Bengal fans were not happy with their first pick. They finally got some offensive line help later in the draft. Aaron Rodgers, still a Packer. Quarterbacks and receivers flying off the board early on. I think all the offensive players going off the board early on allowed for a guy like this to be available late in the draft. But unfortunately, you end up with guys like Schwartz and Felton, which we'll see, you know. Not the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop, it rises to the top. That's what they say anyhow. We shall see. Donovan Peoples-Jones last year, a 7th-round pick, I believe, had a game-winning touchdown catch. Huge impact throughout the season. All right, guys. No 7th-rounder, a little wheeling and dealing, and, yeah, you know, everybody. It's just like, you know, it's just like your fantasy team. You always feel like you nailed the draft. Boom. Well, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think. I'm giving them an A. A+ if at least 5 of these guys turn out to be for real. All right, guys. Boom. Thanks for checking it out.